Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel. And today is Saturday, March the 11th. So this is Saturday Happenings. And I know it's a little late today, but here's the deal. I made some cute things for my sewing room table, and this is where I usually do my videos for Saturday. So I wanted to make it look cleaned up, and before you know it, I came in here until like an hour and a half later, but it's done. Look, I even did my ironing board. If you ever noticed, I always have stacks of stuff because those are like projects or mending. So I've organized them, and that's a basket of next quilt stuff. Like, I did it. It looks good. But anyway, I am so excited because last week I told you that I wanted to make a jacket out of an old quilt that came off of our bed when we got a new bedroom set. I think it turned out so good. I got to show you. So here it is. This is the jacket that I made out of an old, this isn't a real quilt. Like, I would never cut up a real quilt. It's one of those ones you order off Amazon. But look, it's got pockets on the side. I made it about a size too big because I wanted to make up for the thickness of the quilted fabric. And also, if I want to wear a sweatshirt or something under it, and I've got kind of a sweatshirt under it, but this is really thin. But if I but I'm gonna tell you what, this thing's warm. But see how it turned out? It's got little cuffs on it. Look, I did such a good job. I'm so excited about it. I've got pockets on the sides. See there? There's pockets. There's a zipper that goes all the way up the front, and it opens from the bottom. So I think that turned out just right. Check it out. I'm excited. And look, I gotta take it off because it's hot. But it even has a hood. Whoop. Check it out. So I love this. I'm excited that I made this, and I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. So there's that. That's my excitement for today. So, okay, so we've got that. I wanted to show you. So last week, if you are new to my channel, I get super excited about everything. I don't even know. One of the gals that's in our food program, she even says she's going to adopt one of my most famous phrases, and that's "I'm so excited." So she always does that, but I just am. Like, life is good. But I wanted to show you, I finished my coat, my jacket, and a thing I did, I want to see if I can show you this. One of the things I thought was a good idea was that it was this pattern. It's a Connie Crawford pattern, and it was this little jacket. But what I did was, because these are multi-sized, and it took a day. I made that last Sunday, beginning to end. But I cut the pattern out at the largest size. Then what I have done is I ordered from Amazon, I guess, one roll of examination table paper. That way it just rolls out, and I traced all of the pattern on there in my size. So now if I ever want to use the pattern again, it's still a whole pattern, and I have all the pieces for the size and any adjustments I made, which I did not really make any adjustments on this pattern. So this pattern worked out really well for me. It's kind of a cute one. Look at that. Anyway, so I have the pattern, the original pattern cut at the largest size. No changes to that. But then I have all the pattern pieces, and I used examination table paper. So that turned out all right. So there's that. But if you, that's what I talked about last Saturday, was one of the things I talked about. And I always talk about the videos that I did earlier in the week, up to today, from last week, because I like to address comments or questions. And I talk about what I'm working on and videos that I already have up for you for next week. So let's get started. So last week on Monday, I did the difference between a pressure canner and a pressure cooker. Look at these little curlies. That's what happens when they get humid. Whoosh. Anyway, pressure canners and pressure cookers, and the difference, and why you can cook in a canner but you can't can in a cooker. It's a size thing. So anyway, so that's important to know, and I did that video. And then a couple of comments were people wanting me to actually cook in my cooker, and no problem. I'm actually probably going to make, I got some beef stew chunks out today, so I might make some beef stew, and I'll do it in my pressure cooker, and which is basically, a pressure cooker is the original Instant Pot. That's all it is. It's an electric pressure cooker. So if you have an old pressure cooker, you can use your Instant Pot recipes. You can treat it exactly the same as an Instant Pot. You just do it on the stove, and it's not that hard. So I'm going to do some pressure cooker cooking. So fun. And last week was kind of like collaboration week. It was so cool because then we had Shelf Stable, And the shelf stable, I love that collaboration because it's just ongoing. It just keeps going. And I think it's such an important one to help people really learn how to use food storage. Like everybody knows you need to get prepared, you need to have your food storage, but how do you really use it and how are you effective with it? So that's really a good collaboration. And I did the cornbread with the barbecue, pulled pork barbecue on top, and it was really good. And then somebody asked me if I had a recipe for sloppy joes, and not with meat, but I have a recipe for a sloppy joe like starter, which is what you get like in the cans of the sloppy joe. So I am actually thinking I'm going to do a sloppy joe mix, and that would be super good. So also people commented things that they would tweak the cornbread with, because I just used a mix of cornbread. It's just cornbread, you add water, you bake it. But I put some jalapenos and some corn in it. A couple folks said they put different things that they would put in it, and I have always kind of liked to take a store-bought thing and tweak it and make it my own. One of the things I like to do is, you know how you get those biscuits in a can, you can get those breadsticks. Those are so good. But I will roll them out, and then what I do is roll them in butter or brush butter on them and sprinkle Parmesan cheese and rosemary on them. That makes a little garlic, the little garlic seasoning for garlic bread. That makes the best. But I always look for reasons and ways to tweak recipes. So then I'm working through my notes. The red is my last week. Pies of March. Such a fun collaboration. So many really good pies. I just, I love pies. I am a pie girl. I love them. I'd rather have, cookies, but I would rather have pies than cakes any day of the week. I just think they're so good. But anyway, there's so many good ones in this collaboration. And I did the one that was originally it was like a side dish. Basically, it's like an onion quiche. But I tweaked it and I added some home canned chicken, and it turned out super good. I loved it. And I also used my little 4-ounce jar of chicken because that's just like enough for 2 people, or basically 1 pie. So that was good. And I love the opportunity with good collaborations to share new things, because I think that people get good ideas. Like I know, like Brian's mom had a specific, the same meal every day of the week. Like if it was Thursday, it was spaghetti. If it was Tuesday, it was like tuna casserole. I don't know. But and that's cool because I used to be that way. But then, I don't know. I just kind of like wing it most of the time. If I don't have a specific recipe that I want to do, and oftentimes when I do have a recipe, I kind of wing it too. I use it as a guide, I think is my thing. So, but so good. Let me make sure. Those was so good. So the pie collaboration was awesome. You guys make sure that you check out the Pies of March. Look for the little logo in any of the collaborations I'm in. I'll always have a logo in my thumbnail that will match the logo of everybody else in the collaboration, so that you're watching the videos that have been gathered from creators for that collaboration. And there's a bunch of them in Pies of March. So it's very, very cool. Now, the last video I did was the super cool collaboration called Make It March. And Canuary is like an annual thing. People look for Canuary every year. It's like Canuary's coming up and it's a great thing. And this is from Lisa over at Sutton's Days, because she's genius. So she did Canuary. And then March decided to do Make It March, so that people can learn to use the things that they can. And I kind of feel like going forward, this should just be a thing. There's always Canuary, give you the month of February to catch up and can all those things, and then March to start using your canned goods. So Make It March is super cool. And I made the spicy pork bowls with cauliflower instead of mashed potatoes, more of a keto friendly type thing. And it was really, really good. And a lot of people commented that they liked that I used that instead of potatoes, because it kind of makes you think. And a couple people said, they wouldn't put corn in it, but if they're corn sensitive, but they would put like green beans or spinach. And I love the idea that this starts generating a thought process of what you can do to alter a recipe. You can't just look at a recipe and go, oh, it's got stuff in it I don't like. Look at it and figure out how to make it the way you would like it. And then there was a comment. I wanted to write this down specifically. Somebody said the bowl meals are like the new casserole. Well, as soon as I heard that, I thought to myself, wait a minute, I could be making like casseroles in individual bowls. So there's a thing I think I'm going to do, but I guess I could get the little Pyrex round. I don't know. I'm going to look because I want to get specific little individual casserole bowls and start doing individual casseroles, which I think is perfect too, because generally if I can make four, if I can make it to where it's four, then we can have it for dinner and then one left over. I love that idea. But then there was this another comment. Somebody said, a multi-layered masterpiece, no drive-through needed. And I love that because my idea for that was really off the KFC chicken bowl things, the ultimate bowl or whatever. So I love that because it's like you can make an ultimate masterpiece at your house and you don't need a drive-through to eat it. So that's good. So I got to show you guys next week. I'm going to do a couple things. So next week on Monday, and I told you this last week, as I've done some videos in my sewing room, people have asked about my machines, my sewing machine here and my serger. And so I decided on Monday that I would do a video and show you both of them and how I use them, what I like about them. Because I think it's good if you're looking to get a different machine or get one for the first time. It's kind of cool. None of mine are like super, like those ones that you go into stores and they're like thousands of dollars. I don't have that. I have one that is awesome. It's going to last me for a really long time. Most of the time I've done my business with a local shop and they have these great sales. So I got this at a terrific sale. So keep your eye out. But I showed you, and actually what I did here was on this one, in the video, I did a buttonhole and I sewed the button on with the machine. So there's none of this little sewing. I literally put it under the presser foot and the needle sews it on. So good. So that's Monday. Then Tuesday, I showed you how to make these. And the reason I showed you how, these are like those little key fob things that people, and they're all over the internet right now. It's like a fad. People are making these things like crazy. But I showed you how to do two kinds. One where it is a different fabric inside and outside. And then one that is the same fabric on both sides. But, and I even have little homemade with love tabs, aren't they? Isn't that cute? But I showed you how to make this, and I think that's Tuesday, because you have to know this, because the next day, I'm going to show you how to make these. And you'll notice this is different. See how this is hooked on here as just a key fob? This one actually comes in. This key fob is hooked to this little thing, but there's a way to hook it on here. And I made a whole bunch. Look. I made a whole bunch of these, and they're super cute, super fun. And I even used my machine's decorative stitch to kind of enhance it so it sort of coordinates. But the inside of these, the fabric matches the inside of this little loop. So I made a bunch of these, and these are going to go down to my daughter for her shop. And so I've got these, and I used denim on them. Aren't they cute? And I think last week I showed the one that's a little mermaid that I made for a friend. She loved it. See there? That's so cute. Anyway, so these are great. And what are these good for? Well, I think that they're terrific for, first thing I can think of, it's like if we go camping and I take Snickers for a walk, I can clip my keys on here and I can have the little doggy pickup, the little poopy pickup bags right there in there. Or what I use, this is one I've been carrying around. And so I didn't make this one denim. This is just, let me get my stuff out of here. My ID and my credit card. Oh, and some money. I didn't even realize I had money in there. That's kind of fun. And Gumby, because he's always around with me. But this one I've been carrying around, see? And it's just cotton on the outside. I didn't do this with denim. So that, the making this is like on Tuesday. The very next day will be how to make the actual bag and put the whole thing together. And see, I've got a couple of them cut out ready for my video, which I'm going to do as soon as I help Brian do a project. We're redoing the bathroom, so I got to paint. But anyway, I'm gonna do this, and I've got a pattern for you for this. So that's going to be super cool. And I have the links for the hardware. So I'm all prepared. So that's coming up. And then again, Make It March on Friday. There's another Make It March. And those are just so fun. There's one every single day of the week. I think Monday through Friday for the month of March. in the Make It March collaboration, but I've got another video coming out on Friday. And then I want to show you guys. Okay, so I also am working on, like, after this we have to go put some board up in the bathroom because we're kind of had a new shower put in, and we've got to put that wainscoting on, and then I've got to paint. But I have, let me see, I made these things because as I've started sewing more and more, because I have more time, because I'm home now, because I'm retired, I get up and walk out of here, and the front of my shirt has like strings and little bits of fabric just stuck on it. So a friend of mine and I went to the pottery company in Coos Bay, where you can, like, they have all the green where it's all ready. You just paint it. They have all the paint. You decorate it. You give it to them. They glaze it. They fire it, and you pick it up. And it's super cute. So I want to show you what I made. So I made this because it's supposed to look like quilts. Okay. This is my little, and I don't have nice enough writing. I was going to write, you know, sharp things or whatever. I don't know. But this is for all my scissors. And there's a piece of foam down here so the tips of them don't hit the container. So I made that. It's just a utensil container. But I made that for my scissors. Then for my little clips, I made this is a little cereal bowl. So I did that one up so that I've got these right here by my sewing machine. And then the best part was for all the strings, I made this. This is like a, I don't know, it's like a planter or something, or like some sort of a treat jar. But it's like, it sits this way. It's kind of like a ball, but it's open. So as I'm snipping things, I just throw them in there, and then I can scoop it all out and throw it away. And it's not all over my sewing cabinet, or counter. So this is my, you know, it's like my things that I've clipped off of things. And you know what else I think is really important to have on the counter or in your sewing table when you sew? A ring holder. I use that all the time. I've had a couple of situations where I've had to reach into something or into my sewing machine and my ring will catch. So I like to put that right there and have that for my rings. So let me see. Today I'm going to paint the bathroom. I'm going to finish my bag video, and who knows what else is next. And then I also want to do this video of making these little marble mazes. I was going to do that, and then I realized I don't have any marbles. So I'm going to put marbles on my list and go to the dollar store and get them, because I think they're super, super cute, super easy to make, and I think they're genius. And also, you know, though it was for kids, you know, to sit there and push marbles through. It's kind of like a maze, and it's like quilty thing. I'll show you. And I even will have here it is. I will have a link to this pattern for you. It's called a marble maze, and you kind of push that. You can see here. You kind of cut it and make these little channels, and you push the marble around. And I think that's good. But you know what else it's good for? Not just little kids. Also, I was going to make a bunch of them to take them over to the memory care. We have a place that's memory care, because you can make these quilty things, which I thought about, and they have loops on them, and they almost remind me of those little textile or tactile things that you make for little babies, that they feel the different things. These are very important for people who are like in a memory care of dementia or Alzheimer's, because it's tactile. So I was thinking about kind of coming up with a blend of that in one part of it, and then like loops and different textures of fabric, and take those over to memory care, because people will sit there and it's just something for their hands to be doing, to feel. So I think that's good. I'm going to do that. And then this week, if I get into town, another thing is I talk often about how I get my food and supplies and things at our chef store. It used to be called Cash and Carry. And I had so many people say, what is that? Like, it's not Costco. It's not Sam's Club. It is actually restaurant supply, like where, you know, little drive-through coffee places go and get all their drink stuff. And anyway, so I'm thinking about doing like a walkthrough video of our chef store. And then let me see. Oh, yes, I have talked about doing my essential oils, and tomorrow I'm cleaning the house, and I will officially be out of my cleaning supplies. So I'm hoping to do a video of that. I know I've said I would do it before and I haven't, but it's now kind of down to the wire. I have to. And then also, Simply Earth had a week of soap. It was like soap week, and they had all these super great recipes. I just think they'll be fun. One of them is a pine forest melt and pour soap, a lava ombre soap. Thing I love about this, I get their monthly box. But they give you, and when you do things, they have like these little things like this. They give you cheat sheets you can print out and basically have an entire book of recipes and how-tos and all kinds of stuff. So I'm hoping to get at least 1 or 2 of these done this week. So that will be cool. So there's that. There's a lot of info, but I am so excited to come in here now because like I cleaned my room. Brian came in right before lunch and he said, what are you doing? I said, I've been cleaning. Look at how good it looks. It doesn't look any different to him, but I know it's cleaned up and it's good. Things are good in my sewing room. So, and I've got stew meat thawing. So I think I might be able to do that video using my pressure cooker, which is basically, like I said, the original Instant Pot. So that's it. But this is going to be a fun little bag to make. I just can't wait. I love making these kinds of things. So there you have it. I'm excited about my coat. Now I want to kind of find some more patterns. I have lots of patterns that I bought specifically because that Connie Crawford, she makes, we'll say curvy patterns, because I need some curvy patterns. So anyway, so I'm going to come up with some of those things. So there you have it. Saturday happenings. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.